Jerry Stevenson here. I want to talk to you about Western hats and cowboy hats today. I tell you why we're going to talk about that because just this last week I was in Houston at a big Western store, and a lady came in and she walked over there to a hat section, and she's looking at hats, and she picked up a hat, a cowboy hat that was hideous. It was spray painted around the edge to make it look older. And she had a clerk there with her, and I guess the clerk assumed that that's what she wanted because that's what the lady walked to. And as you get older, you say things and stick your nose that it ain't really none of your business, but I just couldn't let that lady think she had a hat, So I said something about when the clerk walked away, I said, "Ma'am, that hat is hideous." I said, "That is a fake hat." I said, "It's pitiful." And she said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, you see this spray painting around here? You don't want anything like that." I said, "What you want to do is you want to go over there where the real hats are. In the back corner over there is a section." "Oh, okay," she said. And but what made me think about telling her that so much was she said, "Well, I'm getting a hat for a party." And I go, "Oh, okay." And then she says, "And it's at a ranch." I go, "It's at a ranch? Well, you sure don't want to be wearing that thing right there." And so anyway, when I left, she was over buying some of the hats that I looked at and showed her over there. And she had one picked out, and she was in line to get it shaped exactly like she wanted it. And but if she'd have got to the party at a ranch, she would have really been disappointed. But now she'll probably go. She'll get some compliments on that hat, and I think she'll be much happier than if she wore with that hat she was going to buy. She would have been embarrassed. It was maybe a little worse than this thing right here. This is a hat that's not a hat that a cowboy or a cowgirl would wear. And matter of fact, when you look inside, you can tell by the names. I mean, I'm not big on names myself, but I am big on buying quality. But this is if the hat has a wire in the brim of it, so it'll keep its shape. That tells you something right there. You don't want that. You want the hat to keep its shape itself because of the quality of it. And I can do it to this one because it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Those hats that are like you see, like up here like this, and then they break them down in the front, they break them down in the back. That's horrible. No self-respecting cowboy would wear that. And ain't that the look you're going for? A real cowboy look, really? You don't want to look like a fake or drugstore cowboy. So yeah, this type of hat. But that one was a lighter color hat and brown spray painted around the edge and around here to make it look like it was soiled. So like you've been around. Well, it looked like it got knocked off your head and run through the bush hogs. What it looked like. I've thrown away better looking hats than that one. And so it was horrible. But anyway, I hope she went to the party. I hope she enjoyed herself. I hope got some compliments on it. And that's what really made me to decide to do this today. There's several different kind of hats. And as you watch videos, hey, J Daddy, he comes out and does a little dance, He's 50-something years old, does a little dance. And he always wears a good looking hat. And so that's what you want. Now this old hat, I'm going to talk about quality in a little bit. This hat here is somewhere between 20 and 30 years old. and hadn't been cleaned or blocked in about that long. So that's the, if you it's yes, it costs more to get a good hat like that. You want to get one, spend the money on it, or if you can't afford nothing, but that thing was $99 that I just showed you. Instead of spending $99 on that, put a little more with it, get you a good hat. Hats run all the way up there to thousands of dollars, of course. I put a limit on mine. I try not to spend no more than between $300 and $400 on a hat. And but you say, well, that's still a lot of money. Well, like I said, if you can't afford it right now, just go bareheaded. I mean, better to not have a hat on than have something that looks horrible, looks awful. Now, this old hat, it's a Bailey. That's what brand it is. They're marked by quality. They have X's in them. This one is a 5X. Be some X's in there and you'll see it. 5X. It's lasted for years and years. Got a good liner in it. And it's my work hat. And when I use one, I'm always wearing in my videos because I'm always around the place here. Now, there's other hats that I have. I have this hat because I have a black coat that I'll try on in a minute with it and show it to you. This is called a Rodeo King. It's a pretty good hat. They sell them at Cavender's, I know, and it's a black felt. You want to stay away from a real thick hat or one that's got wool. You want one that's 100% felt. There's all kinds of videos on there talking about the hats and quality, so I won't go into that long. But the thinner one you can get, the better it is. That's a pretty good hat for the money. This here is a Stetson. In my opinion, the Stetson is the best one. That's what I've always liked, grew up wearing. This one here is a 6X. I paid almost $400 for this one right here. But if you go to the hat place, instead of just stopping at the little place that has all those kind of hats like that, go on in the back, the Western store, where you see a steam machine and some guys there, and they'll help you pick one out. But try to get one that looks authentic. Now, this one right here, this is my favorite. It's a silver belly. It's a neutral color. You can wear it with anything. And the lady that I was talking to at the store, when she put one on, she put it on backwards. And she looked in the mirror, and I go, no, the buckle always goes on the left-hand side of your hat. You want your buckle on your left-hand side. Normally, the hats are smaller. This crease is a little closer together in the front. This is called a cattleman's because I wasn't really a big rodeo hand, you might say. Those bull riders and things now, they have a style where it's kind of wide across here and kind of square it off. But I ain't trying to be a bull rider, and I ain't trying to pass off as one for sure. So this is called a cattleman crease. There's different styles, different designs. And this is a felt. I wear it for dress, and I wear it in the wintertime. Like evening, say after 6 or formal wear, I wear a hat like this. And this black one here, too, for that. Now, another kind of hat we got is the straw hats. This straw hat is really for summertime. I prefer the little Panama straw. That's a little smaller weave like that. They got different qualities out of them. But the same goes. If you got to have a wire around the edge, you don't want it. And if you do spend a little more money on a hat, say, than you intended to, you realize that that hat was 20 to 30 years old, you might even have that hat and pass it on down to your kids or grandkid. I mean, how cool would it be to say, hey, Grandpa wanted me to have his Western hat? You know, that would be pretty neat. And so a straw hat in the summer, and even in the summertime, if it's evening, I switch to the felt hat. So if you really want another little test about how good your hat is, if you get a box with it, that means it's good enough to preserve. This is the Stetson box, and this is that Rodeo King box. And you can tell I've really actually had both of these for a good while. The boxes are getting worn. But if you put that hat in that box, and it has a plastic bag with it too, put that in there. If you do have a hat without a box, always put it in a plastic bag. Do something, some kind of bag or something to keep the dust from settling on it. Dust even gets into a closet. That comes from vacuuming and things like that right there. So I'm going to try these hats on in a dressed up style because you've only seen me in this one right here. And when I went to a concert last night, I went to see a new guy called Zach Top. He is a young guy, but he sings real country music. I think that is finally coming back. And my granddaughter went with me because Lainey Wilson was on the show too. It was over in Louisiana. I was really surprised at how many good looking cowboy hats I seen on the little girls and big girls too and boys. I didn't see a terrible amount of those crappy looking hats like I see in Nashville. There's a store in Nashville that just sells those things by the gross. I mean, they just got them right up there in the front, and people are buying them and breaking them over, thinking, "Yeah, I got me a Western hat." No, you got a hat, but it ain't fit to wear. Wouldn't wear it to a dog fight if it was still legal or not. But anyway, that's it, and I'm gonna be back and show you the hats dressed up. So here's my dress outfit. Me and my daughter went to that concert, and I decided to go with I think I wore this other hat last night. But you can see how that is. I'm gonna give another shout out to J Daddy. He comes dancing across there like that right there. He's over 50. Well, hey, I'm over 70. So, young man, I hope you still look this good when you get to be 70. I'm joking, I'm picking. But anyway, I'll show you the different one. And let's see. By the way, excuse me, I have a little sniffles today. The straw hat I was wearing was a Resistol, and it just happened to be a George Strait one. And the coat I'm wearing is a Scully brand, Western clothes. So just in case somebody might want to send me some free samples to try out, you never know, I wouldn't reject them. But anyway, I'm not getting paid for pushing any of these, believe me. I'm not even monetized yet. I appreciate the views. And J Daddy, you don't have to worry about me because I ain't going to take my shirt off even for 1,000,000 views. And he gets almost that many sometimes the way he acts. But anyway, glad you joined me today. Appreciate it. Glad you joined me, and see you next time.